Welcome back to Business Insights, where we are discussing the trials and tribulations and journeys to success that various Chicagoland executives have achieved. Now, today it brings me great pleasure to introduce to you Captain Amazing, Jackie Camacho Ruiz. You may have seen her featured on many news broadcast stations, from CBS to WGN, both radio and television. Been featured across the board with all kinds of different awards. Jackie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here today.
Fantastic. Jackie, we met about 5 years ago. I think you were one of the first potential clients that I ever had. Thank you for signing with us and helping us build our business. And it brings me great pleasure to help you get in front of a bigger, wider audience and share with us all the insights that you've achieved.
It's been a pleasure knowing you and seeing you grow too over the years, and it's been such a fascinating journey. I love that.
Definitely. So, Jackie, you are an author. You're a writer. Obviously, writer, author. You help people market their businesses. JJR Marketing is the company that Jackie runs quite well, if I may add. Tell me a little bit about how you came to be where you are in your career today.
Well, my dream had always been to be an entrepreneur. I wrote about it, I thought about it, I shared my dream with people, and I had my dream come true when I was 23. That's when I decided to serve the Hispanic and non-Hispanic communities through helping them navigate the complex world of marketing, especially for a small, mid-sized company size. And it's been an incredible journey ever since. I have been an entrepreneur now for 8 years. And along that journey, I decided to write my first book in 2010, and now book number 6 just came out. And so I think, when you talk about business insights and when you talk about being leaders in the community, I think, for me, it's about leaving, leaving a legacy and also living a inspired life, doing something that fulfills my heart every day and enjoying that part of that journey every day.
It's amazing everything you do. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the 6th book that you just finished writing? It's coming out soon, or is it already out?
Actually, it already came out, and I am so happy about this book because it's a catalyst. It's a comic book for children to inspire them to be superheroes in their own life. So we actually did a Kickstarter campaign for this, and we had over 350 backers that supported this goal. In 29 days, we raised the amount that we needed, and now 6 authors and myself were turned into superhero characters to inspire children to be the best they can be. And that's what's, being a mother of 2, it just excites me.
And what's the name of the comic book?
The Crusaders.
The Crusaders, and you're one of the Crusaders.
Yes.
Captain Amazing.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
And you guessed it right. How did you know?
It's your favorite word. I've heard you say it all the time, and you are nothing but. Anyway, what about The Fig Factor? That was your 5th book, right?
Actually, that was my 3rd book.
Your 3rd book. Okay, well, I know it got a lot of attention in the media. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did with The Fig Factor? What is The Fig Factor?
The Fig Factor is the story of a little girl that lived in Mexico City that one day got inspired to sell figs at the age of 5 and noticed that most people were ignoring her. And she got up from her little wobbly table and started chasing people down the street and telling them that they needed to buy figs. And for me, as that young girl, that little girl, that had a very special experience. It marked me in a way that I never imagined. Now, anything I do, I take action. I don't expect people to come to me. I do it. I initiate that movement. And so now what I'm doing is taking that same concept. I actually created a Fig Factor Foundation for young Latinas between the ages of 15 and 25 to unleash their own amazing, because they all have it within them. And I just wanted to continue to be a light for these young girls and inspire them. And that's why I decided to turn this into something that impacts more than just me and my family.
Well, that's great. So the Fig Foundation is the nonprofit organization that you have created. Tell us a little bit, the viewers, thank you for tuning in, how they can get involved with the organization itself.
Well, we are actually in the process now of creating a website, creating all the marketing collateral. And as you know, that's one of our specialties, a marketing agency. And we're just really excited. We have already a lot of partners in the community that are saying, Jackie, whatever it is, I want to help. And when you have that kind of movement and that kind of excitement for something that is evolving and being created as we speak, it warms your heart, especially because you know that you're at the right place at the right time.
So for when the website launches, what is that URL? Where can they find out more about that?
That'll be thefigfactor.org.
Okay, great. You know, your specialty and background is marketing. Before the show, you were telling me a little bit about some of the insights you've gained through your career about going from a push marketing perspective to a pull. Why don't you explain to us all a little bit more about this gravitational, change?
Well, I have been in the marketing world for the last 12 years, and I am absolutely delighted and fascinated with the ever-changing environment in the marketing world. But the biggest shift that I've seen from when I started to now is that companies are shifting from the how and the what to now the why. So the how and the what typically deals with features and benefits, and it's considered more of a push marketing strategy where you're shouting out to the world that you're the best company there is.
Fab, right?
Yeah,
Features,
you're fabulous. But the truth is, the truth is that you don't go to somebody's house and you don't walk into the house and say, "I saw a billboard and that was the best thing I've ever seen. I'm going to call the company the plumbing company now." Because typically now that the consumer is more educated, they go online and they do their own research, they do all that stuff. So now companies are saying, you know what, the consumer is educated and I don't want to sell them anything. I want to facilitate the process and the awareness that they have an issue and I can be the solution to that issue, right, to that pain. So instead of doing that, companies are now going out there, they're educating the consumer, they are providing value through content, they are allowing other third-party endorsements to take place, like from the media, PR, and truly becoming more of a pull marketing strategy where you get people to raise their hand and say, I want to work with you because you're amazing, because somebody else facilitated that process. And you, whatever you said, you made me aware that I have an issue, and you're the solution to that issue. So it's a very powerful shift. And there's actually certain ways that you do that to make it powerful, but it's been the biggest insight that I've gained over the last 12 years in marketing.
Well, it's great for you to share that with everybody. And how would you advise a new business, an entrepreneur out there just starting up, how do they do it? I mean, let me pause because we can edit this, right?
Totally.
I'll get back to the position I was in.
How
are they, what steps do you take to initiate this pull strategy is the point I'm trying to get at. Do you bring on brand ambassadors, like other third parties to promote your brand?
Yeah, you write articles, blogs, yeah.
Okay.
So there's,
So Jackie, now to really initiate this kind of pull strategy, what would you suggest? Is it just create content, blogging, and what would you suggest is the number one thing to do?
Well, first of all, you need to define the audience. You need to define the key messages to that audience, and then you need to define the right vehicles to reach them. So in this case, if you know that you have a primary target audience that enjoys golf, how are you going to educate them or maybe bring them unique insights about the golf industry, right? How are you going to educate them? How are you going to position yourself as a thought leader? So you can do that through content, through video. You can do that through perhaps sending articles to the local newspapers and magazines, because when you get picked up by those media outlets, it becomes very, very powerful. So those are some of the ways that you can become a thought leader and therefore create an environment of a pull marketing type of strategy where people are coming to you because you are the thought leader, the expert.
And where can people find more content that you have yourself created? I mean, I know you're published in Crane, Chicago quite often, from what I recall. So where can they find more information about you and the services you provide other than JJRmarketing.com?
My LinkedIn page is a great a great conduit for content. We have a lot of blogs that we do on a monthly basis. We actually have a beautiful newsletter that we send out for the last 94 months, featuring local leaders, and where we share some unique insights and marketing. You know, we are constantly trying to stay ahead of the game in this beautiful industry, and so those are a couple of ways that we can stay in touch.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you, Jackie. It has been a pleasure to have you on this show. Tune in next time, and success and nothing less.
Yes.